Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tate is left with a mess by Holly's secret in Everett's missing father memories. The Wednesday, March 6 spoilers for Days of Our Lives show that Julie Williams attempted to speak well of Everett Lynch because she thought he actually loved Stephanie Johnson, but Stephanie diverted Julie's focus back to their work at the damaged Horton house. While picking up his order to go at the bar on Wednesday's episode of Days, Chad DiMera remarked that he was assisting Julie and Stephanie at the Horton residence today. Roman Brady made the decision to accompany and provide an extra set of hands. Stephanie and Julie were grateful that Chad had brought Roman over, along with some lunch. Julie added that if a key was discovered during the process of determining what may be salvaged, it might be possible to utilize it to unlock the time capsule. During a quiet moment on the Wednesday episode of DOOL, Stephanie was asked by Chad how things were going with Everett. Because of her past relationship with Chad, Stephanie found it difficult to talk about it, but she was happy that Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, was assisting Everett in his memory recovery efforts. Stephanie was glad to have discovered a way to become friends with Chad, and the two of them laughed a little and reminisced about a past trip to Six Flags with the kids. When Everett arrived at the hospital, Marlena welcomed him into her office and made sure he was still going by that name. Everett said that was who he was, seeming irritated. Everett remembers his nice mother baking him a racecar birthday cake when he was about 3 years old. Marlena started the therapy session by asking him about his earliest childhood recollections. Everett declined to go into further detail regarding his mother at this point after stating that he hadn't given it much thought. Marlena assumed that was the case because Everett claimed he was drawing a complete blank on his father and inquired if she thought that was due of his traumatic brain injury. Everett was asked if he gave his name as Everett Lynch, and Marlena persuaded him to tell her what happened when he initially woke up in the hospital. Everett became irritated by the uncertainties surrounding his identification once more. Marlena discovered that Robert Everett Stein was his full name and that Lynch was his mother's maiden name when she went through Everett's old records. It was evident that Everett was surprised by this development, and Marlena eventually offered him the opportunity to conclude the therapy session because there was a lot to process. Everett agreed to try hypnosis with Marlena as their next session since she believed it could be beneficial. After getting Stephanie's text, Everett went to the Horton residence after getting the card for his next appointment. Stephanie gave Chad a hug in response to him telling her that he was available for her whenever she wanted to chat or just hang out. As he entered, Everett saw the embrace, so he strolled out unseen, appearing thoughtful as menacing music played outside. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Brady Black saw Nicole DiMera in the town square and learned that Ashley Puzimis' character Holly Jonas was awakening from a coma. Brady was happy to hear that Holly was back to normal and communicating, especially since he assumed Tate Black, Jamie Martin Mann, would benefit from this. Nicole acknowledged that Holly didn't remember all that happened on New Year's Eve, but she insisted that the drugs weren't hers. Brady spoke up for Tate, saying he wouldn't have drugged a female so he could try to get close to her. Brady wanted to talk to Holly directly, but Nicole rejected the notion. Nicole mentioned that because Holly's recuperation had to take priority, perhaps they could all get down and chat once her daughter was more resilient. On Wednesday's edition of Days, Nicole gave Holly donuts from Sweet Bits and provided updates on her encounter with Brady at the DiMera mansion. Holly emphasized that Tate wasn't the source of the drugs after learning that Nicole believed they did. Nicole didn't see where else they might have come from, so Holly wasn't sure why she would even think that. Holly was upset and told Nicole she didn't know after having a flashback of offering Tate the drugs and being rejected. Holly, however, hurried upstairs and insisted that Tate was innocent. After returning to Brady, he visited Tate in his halfway house and mentioned that Holly had come out of her coma. It was his word against Holly's, Tate knew, and he was irritated that she was unclear about what had transpired. Victoria Horton Cook was brought to see Xander Cook, Paul Telfer, at the Salem Police Department by Sarah Horton, Lindsay Godfrey, who was dejected after spending so much time behind bars. But when Xander saw Victoria and Sarah, he was happy to see that Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, was awake. Harris hadn't implicated Xander yet, but he hadn't cleared his name either. Sarah reassured Xander that she thought he was innocent and that she wouldn't return to their apartment until he was set free. Following some discussion about the packed Kiriakis mansion, Xander suggested Sarah and Victoria avoid Constantine Meliunis, John Capellos. Keep an eye out for other trickery Constantine may pull off, according to spoilers from Days of Our Lives. Tate's new lawyer, Nanny Leo, Holly's visitor, saving Trip and Wendy. According to previews on Thursday, March 7th, Holly Jonas will have a new guest. Tate Black's new attorney meets with him. Jude Brady is babysat by Leo Stark. Sloane Peterson Brady meets with Tate and Teresa Donovan. Additionally, a scheme to rescue Wendy Shin and Trip Johnson is hatched. Discover what will happen next in the Peacock soap opera by continuing to read. According to DOL spoilers for Thursday, March 7th, Holly will have a new guest. Brady Black tried to see Holly, but Ariane Zucker's character Nicole Walker DeMera forbade it. Eric Brady is the next guest that will attempt to see Holly. Holly may not be telling the truth when she claims not to recall taking the medications. However, Holly does appear to be certain that Tate is innocent, which implies that she is aware of the reality. Will Holly, the teenager, open up to Eric when he visits? It appears that Justin Kiriakis will lose his job once more on Thursday, March 7th. Tate was initially represented by Justin during this judicial ordeal. Alex Kiriakis then attempted to fire Justin. Tate's parents, Brady and Teresa, opposed that relocation. But something occurs that forces Teresa and Tate to consult with a different attorney. It just so happens that Sloane is that lawyer. Sloane is said to have some audacious suggestions for bolstering Tate's case. According to previews on Thursday, March 7th, Leo will be watching Jude the infant. Sloane's decision to entrust Jude to Leo is satirized. It follows that Sloane probably dashes off to handle her new customer. Eric isn't available in the interim, most likely because he's spending time with Nicole and Holly. Naturally, Leo will be ecstatic to watch Jude. But what will Eric think of that? Fans can anticipate that arrangements will be made to save Wendy and Trip on Thursday, March 7th. How are Steve Johnson, John Black, and Ava Vitale going to accomplish that? What's more, can Trip and Wendy be saved before they expire in the death chamber, before the air runs out? Which plot will you be most interested in witnessing on Thursday, March 7th? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. Don't forget to keep watching Peacock Soap Opera to see what happens next.